In the heart of the unforgiving North Atlantic, where light fades into pitch-black darkness, lies a relic of history, the mighty Titanic. Lying at a depth of approximately 12,500 feet, the wreckage rests on the seabed, shrouded in darkness and mystery. Those who dare descend and visit this eerie underwater monument face many perils, among them freezing temperatures and immense water pressure. In this video, we will dive deep into the demise of one of these exploratory vessels, the Titan. In June 2023, the 5 explorers aboard it were killed, joining the 1,500 victims of the Titanic in this graveyard 2.5 miles under the sea. To understand the Titan catastrophe, one must come to know its captain, a man named Stockton Rush. Rush had an obsession with the sea and the sky, and was known to push the boundaries of technology to the brink. After working for an aerospace manufacturing company early in his career, Rush built his own experimental plane, which he flew around the Pacific Northwest. Growing tired of the sky, he turned his attention to what lies beneath, spending his days scuba diving in Puget Sound. As he became more comfortable going deeper and deeper, he believed others should also have this sort of experience. In 2007, Rush dove into entrepreneurship. He founded a company called OceanGate, which he believed would revolutionize the commercial submarine business. Up until this point, the only visitors to the Titanic were researchers and scientists. Rush wanted to make it possible for tourists to book a ride on a submarine. He was heavily critical of government regulations, which he believed was a barrier to innovation. The Titan was unveiled in 2021. The company's website claimed the 5-person submersible could go as deep as 13,000 feet, thanks to its groundbreaking engineering and off-the-shelf technology, and an unparalleled hull monitoring safety system. The 23,000-pound submersible was made of titanium and filament-wound carbon fiber, and that combination of different materials is likely the reason behind its implosion just 2 years later. Stockton Rush, along with 4 other souls, a Pakistani father and son, a Titanic researcher, and a British businessman, were aboard the Titan on its final, fateful expedition. Each was said to have paid upwards of $250,000 for a trip of a lifetime. It would turn out to be their final trip. The Titan's descent started early in the morning of Sunday, June the 18th. At 8 local time, OceanGate's mission control gave the vessel the OK to begin the drop into the ocean. The plan was for the submersible to spend 2.5 hours in slow descent, then 4 hours exploring the wreckage, at which point it would release weights to gradually make its way back to the surface. That was the hope, but the Titan's tech was hardly reliable. The minivan-sized submersible had made at least 10 trips to the Titanic in the past, and nearly every single expedition was plagued with some sort of issue. The submersible often lost communication with its support ship, and on at least one occasion had gotten stuck on the ocean floor for 4 hours due to a mechanical failure. On that fateful Sunday the 18th, the Titan went silent 1 hour and 45 minutes into its journey to the ocean floor. As the minutes ticked on into hours, heart rates on the support ship began to rise. With no GPS underwater, the Titan was expected to communicate with its mothership by text messages every 15 minutes. By 7 p.m., the time the submersible was expected to return, the U.S. Coast Guard was alerted. News of the search for the missing Titan spread like wildfire around the globe. This, in part, was due to the fact the search effort was a multi-country one. Coast Guard vessels from the US, Canada, England, France, and Germany supplied personnel and equipment. There were numerous questions. How much oxygen did the crew have on this enclosed submersible? Was it stuck on the Titanic, stuck on the ocean floor, or had it somehow floated back to the surface and was bobbing in the waves? Military planes flew over a vast expanse of ocean, looking for any sign of the Titan, in hopes that the last hypothesis was indeed true. For if the Titan was stuck on the ocean floor, it was nearly impossible for it to be lifted out quickly. No submersible rescue had ever been completed at Titanic's depths. The search became more frantic when 2 days into the search, there were reports of sonar picking up the sound of underwater banging. According to an internal US government memo, search crews detected the banging sounds every 30 minutes, and 4 hours later, after additional sonar devices were deployed, more banging was heard. With just hours of oxygen left, could the crew of 5 be signaling for help? Despite the extraordinary international rescue effort, hope was waning by Wednesday. The consistent banging sounds stopped, and the search by air and sea proved fruitless. On Thursday, when the submersible's 96-hour supply of oxygen was expected to run out, the news that everyone feared was announced. The Coast Guard said debris had been found roughly 1,600 feet, or about 500 meters from the Titanic. It matched the markings of the Titan. The men were dead.
On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families. I can only imagine what this has been like for them, and I hope that this discovery provides some solace during this difficult time.
The likely cause of death? Implosion. The submersible had buckled under the immense pressure of the water, just an hour and 45 minutes into its trek to the Titanic. Another shocking revelation: the US Navy had picked up an unusual, loud sound in the area where the Titan imploded, at the same time it likely did. Why hadn't that information stopped search efforts? The commanders leading that effort said they used that intel to narrow down the area of the search, but believed it wasn't definitive enough to stop the mission. More details about what may have happened in the passengers' final moments was revealed once the debris was pulled from the ocean. 10 days after the expedition began, on June 28th, the Coast Guard said that presumed human remains were recovered inside what's left of the submersible. Those pieces and parts were unloaded from the ship Horizon Arctic at the Canadian Coast Guard pier in St. John's, Newfoundland. Experts began to speak out about the Titan's inefficiencies, including James Cameron, director of the film Titanic and expert in submersibles. He said the journey had parallels with Titanic, where the captain repeatedly ignored warnings about an incoming iceberg and carried on at top speed. Photos and videos emerged. A CBS News correspondent who had been invited aboard the Titan in 2022 went on television to talk about how the submersible had components purchased from common retail stores. He'd been shocked that the submersible had a video game controller to navigate with. With the end of the Titan comes the end of OceanGate. The company has suspended its commercial and exploration operations. Does this mean the end of deep-sea tourism? Only time will tell. While the Titanic's structure continues to deteriorate beneath the waves, it remains an enduring symbol of human ambition, hubris, and the fragile nature of our existence. Its legacy serves as a reminder of the need for humility in the face of nature's might. What is known is whoever makes a future quest to reach the Titanic will have in the back of their mind the story of the Titan and the 5 lives driven by ambition and curiosity who met their tragic demise. Their vessel, no match for the crushing pressure, succumbed to the relentless forces of the abyss. Their dreams of uncovering history's secrets shattered beneath the weight of the deep sea. May their memory serve as a warning to all who venture into the abyss. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.